able to handle things that were not visible. And this was a common denominator that I discovered. They fasted often and they prayed much. That was enough for me. An entire reading of a book, that was what I got. Fast often, pray much. Fast often, do what? Pray much. And I decided to pray deliberately. You know, some of you pray when the Holy Ghost moves you. That's good. But you must learn how to pray when you are not moved. That is better. You pray intentionally. You pray deliberately. This priesthood, this act of priesthood in the book of Genesis chapter 8 was intentional. Because it required building an altar. Do you build a house in your sleep? You are sleeping and then you wake up. It was intentional. And I decided to fast. And I decided to pray. And I started praying. And I started praying. And I started praying. It was not easy. But you see, prayer is a spirit. When you start praying, what you are doing is that you are calling the spirit. That spirit will possess you one day. When it possesses you, it becomes natural for you to pray. Just like it's natural for you to talk, but it's not natural for you to pray. It is supernatural. To talk to a spirit, you need to be strengthened in your spirit. That's why whenever you want to pray, you find yourself. You see who I'm talking to? You find yourself in the night. You are overwhelmed with great sleep. My prayer place was a football field in Kano. Every night they will see me walking on the football pitch. Sometimes I will do like this. I will lie down. I did that for many months. Hallelujah. One day I went for my elder brother's wedding. So from there, a pastor came and met me and said, he wants to go and see one man of God. I said, what happened? He said, the man of God is hearing things about the man of God he doesn't like. Let's go and advise him. I said, that's not my calling. He said, the man of God was his best man in his wedding. He's very tight. Let's go there. Me, I'm the teacher. I can bring out scriptures and maybe he'll be convinced and he will stop some things. Now wedding. This man of God is a prophet. Prophesies a lot. We now start in the parlor. The man of God now came from his room. Meanwhile, that time he was still a genuine prophet anyway. But now, you know, the Holy Ghost does not move because he wants him to move. He moves because he wants to move. He moves because he wants to do what he wants to do. And then suddenly people begin to expect you to perform. And if you yield to that temptation, you just discover that there's a thin line between an accurate prophet and a false prophet. The inspiration will still be coming, but it will not be coming from God. And people that are high in spirit will know that your source is not pure. He came out of his room. He shook me. When he shook me, he shouted. And he began to speak in tongues. Spoke in tongues. Then he began to prophesy. I want to share that prophecy with you. A part of it. Because it was true. But it took that prophecy for me to know the effect of my prayer. He shouted. The first thing that he said was that because of the prayers you have been praying consistently, you have broken many of the curses in your family. Now, so I needed that word, all right? Because I was praying for long and it was as if I wasn't getting feedback. God was not showing me anything. I was not hearing anything. Was I really laboring? Then I realized when that prophecy came that the best days of my prayer was the time that it was as if God did not hear. No feedback. I now learned. I said, okay, intentional prayer is powerful. There may be no wind, the prophet said. There may be no cloud, the prophet said. But the ditches shall be filled with water. When he said that, he said, Your prayers have cut through the curses. Cut through the curses. Your family is coming out because of the prayers you have been praying consistently. Let's stop there. I won't take you into that prophecy. But I know because of my sake, the prophetic grace came upon him. Meanwhile, if a prophet comes out of his room and he has prophesied to you, you that came to help him, will you now say, let's do Bible study again? So after he prophesied, we say, okay, well done. He has prophesied. But I regret that we left that day without engaging that young man. That would have been an opportunity to save Nigeria's prophet. Because at that tender age that he was prophesying like that, governors were visiting him. All kinds of people were coming to him and exploiting him with money. Then he became a soothsayer. Now a magician. And he's good at magic. You know, you need to be a prophet first before you can be an ASMO. Oh, you are not aware of that? Okay, let's stop there. I won't go further. He said the prayers had cut through the curses. I said, oh, glory. That the prayers appears to damage so many installations. It is good. Many of us don't fly long enough. Till the time where the wind and the energy begins to wane. So I said, okay, so I'm doing good. I went back to Kano again, and then I dusted my trousers. I said, here we go. That prophecy renewed my strength. And I began to pray intentionally. Pray intentionally. You know what came back first? That sharp brain. But God now said, you will not use it to get PhD. Use it for my Bible, for the world. I preached many times. Genesis to Revelation comes to my brain. I don't need to open the Bible to show you a reference. I can quote it. He said you use it in the Bible. I did not give you for a carnal use. I gave you for what? Do you know how many of your stuff has been kept? How many of your things are no longer available to you? How many of the ordinations that God has released that have not reached you? And a prince walks on foot, while servants ride on horseback. We are going to pray tonight. I would like you to sustain the tempo of the prayer, because we are praying the prayer of Noah. Make a way where there seems to be no way. Cause rivers to flow through the desert. Let there be a highway in the wilderness.